Coast TV, streaming on demand at thecoast.net.nz.
On Coast, our very special guest. It's an honour to have William Shatner in the
Good morning.
studio.
It's a pleasure to be here, I can't tell you.
Can you do Denny Crane for me, please?
Oh, God, I'm doing Denny Crane right now. This is it.
You are.
Somewhat forgetful.
Is that William Shatner that is Denny Crane? I mean, you see that and you think, how close is that character
Well,
to you?
you know, an actor plays everything close to the vest. It becomes part of you.
Yeah.
And sometimes the writing takes you a little further away, but every actor brings themselves to the part, so that's really
There's
what
quite
I'm
a bit of you there then, really.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful series, and playing alongside James Spader as well, which was
He's a
fantastic.
beauty. I love him, and a terrific actor. It was a great joy to do it.
I believe you two in those
Bergen.
balcony scenes, that was total ad-lib. It wasn't sort of scripted.
Well, a lot of it was scripted. We ad-libbed some, but David E. Kelley, who wrote most of the shows, is a genius, and far be it from us to supersede him.
Let's go back to your beginnings before we talk about what you're doing now. The fact that you're a Canadian and you cracked the American market. How tough was that for a Canadian to get into American acting?
I love that phrase, crack the American market. But as a individual being overwhelmed by the tsunami of work and possibilities and dreams and hopes, and you miss that job and you think I'm never going to pay the rent, and so it's you don't think of it as cracking the market. You think, I wonder if I can get that job. And back then there was a lot of live television, and I'd been working in Canadian theater for 5 years. I was uniquely qualified. Maybe not uniquely, but certainly there were a few people who had my experience on stage, even as a very young actor. And so when I came down to the United States and on live television, and they were looking for young men, I was that guy who could hit the mark and say the words and not be afraid of the camera.
Well, you're always going to be an actor because you got a degree in commerce, didn't you? I mean, were you going to go that way?
Well, no. My father thought I would. He thought I was going that way, but I never did anything else. I've never done anything else. Anything else but talk in front of a microphone or be on stage or be in a film. I've never done, or write or direct, or whatever the occasion for entertainment was. That's what I did since I was the age of 6. I've never taken an unemployment check. I've never drove a cab. I've never done all
doing what you love.
Or a waiter. You know, the things that actors say they did to keep themselves alive. I kept myself alive by acting.
You were lucky. You were very lucky.
I was very lucky. That's the essence of everything. I was very lucky.
You talked about some of the early television shows you did. I believe you were in things like Gunsmoke and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and shows like that before you made it to the Starship Enterprise.
Well, it's true. Before I made it to Channel 13, it was the Sky. I'm here to tell you that Sky Television is putting on a new channel. They're calling it Jones.
I love that name.
Yeah, I love that name too.
It's different.
When I saw it, when I first read it, I thought, "What is that?"
Yeah.
You know, when they sent me the what they wanted me to do, and on Jones, now I understand it. It's you're going to Jones this channel, and it's all about the great old television shows from the 60s.
Like Gunsmoke and The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
And T.J. Hooker and Star Trek. So it's going to be apparently without any added cost. You buy a package of, look at me, I'm doing a commercial
I know,
here.
this is wonderful. They'll love you for it.
Right. In any case, apparently a wonderful thing is happening on Sky Television, and it debuts May 13th. So
It's exciting.
Everybody should have a good time on it.
Is there a story to you getting the role of Captain James T. Kirk, the audition process and so on?
Well, I didn't audition. I'm trying to remember the last time I auditioned as a young actor. And even then, mostly it's they ask you to come into an office. They don't question the ability that you can do the role. It's how you look, the right age, the right look, who else is in it, and that kind of thing. So in the case of Star Trek, they had already made a pilot with an actor called Jeffrey Hunter. Talk about grand old names. Jeffrey Hunter was very popular at that time in the 60s. And he was the Captain Pike, they called him. Roddenberry believed in short, sharp names. And but the pilot didn't sell. But the network, in this case the National Broadcasting Corporation, NBC, wanted to do it again. and recast it. So they called me and said, would I be in the show? And I went to see the pilot, and I thought it was terrific. And I agreed to be in it.
And the rest, they say, is history.
Well, it's certainly going to be on Channel 13.
What are you doing now, apart from plugging Channel 13?
Right. Well, I was in Perth and I was in Adelaide in Australia I've been gone from home almost 2 weeks, and I was at an event in Perth and an event in Adelaide. When I go home, I'll be continue writing a new album that I'm calling Red Shift with Billy Sherwood, who is famous from the group Yes. That's coming along very well. I'll begin work on a new book. I've got a new series in the offing. Got a couple of movie scripts I'm doing. Doing podcasting, brown bag wine tasting on WilliamShatner.com. You ought to take a look at the website. It's burgeoning. I'm doing a lot of viral stuff as well as doing traditional. And I've been on tour this past year with this one-man show that played in Auckland about a year and a half ago. I brought a show here. Had a momentous time, and I mean that sincerely. It was monumental in the feeling of what happened on stage here. And I took that show, rewrote it for Broadway, opened on Broadway last year, and was successful, and toured the beginning of last year and the end of this past year. So I've covered 40 cities. I did a 40-city tour in total. And I may go out again next year with it, smaller venues.
It's incredible. I mean, you've got a birthday coming up very, very soon, and you haven't slowed down by the sound of things.
Well, I don't know what slowing down means. I ride competitively. I've been winning quite a bit, actually.
That's on the horses.
Horses.
Yeah.
I'm what we call reining there. I don't know whether you have it here. Reiners on quarter horses. I show show horses. And I even do the trotting horses. There's a special competition with the standard breds, and so I'm involved in horses to a large degree.
You're an inspiration. You're an absolute inspiration.
Well, I don't know to whom. That's the problem.
I read somewhere where you
the riffraff.
You learnt martial arts. You learnt karate, and your fellow students in a class with Steve McQueen and Elvis Presley. Is that right? Or is that an urban legend?
No, that's an urban legend. Oh, my God. That's a new one on me.
I like it, though.
I
It's
like
a good
it,
one.
too, yeah. 3 of us were in class, and I beat the heck out of both of them. Especially Elvis. He couldn't take a punch for nothing.
Love it. William, it's great to have you here,
Pleasure.
and wonderful, good place for
do remember the
Jones.
channel, Sky Channel, and the big launch on May 13th.
Coast TV, streaming on demand at thecoast.net.nz.